Good day everyone, I'm Christopher Dave and today I'm going to present a research study with the title The Effects of Academic Stress on the Academic Performance of Grade 9 and Grade 10 Students of St. Paul College of Bukawe. So for the research rationale, the study aimed to determine the effects of academic stress on the academic performance of Grade 9 and Grade 10 students of SPCB. For the main problem, what is the effects of academic stress on the academic performance of Grade 9 and Grade 10 students of SPCB? Specifically, the researchers sought answers to the following questions. First, what is the profile of respondent students in terms of academic stress and academic performance? Second, which academic stress is experienced the most and the least? Third, how are grade 9 and grade 10 students compared in terms of academic stress? Fourth, is there a significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under eustress and distress? Fifth, is there a significant difference in the academic performance in terms of academic stress? So here are the following data provided for us to come up with research findings and conclusions. For table number 1, frequency and percentage distribution of respondents in terms of academic stress. For table 2, frequency and percentage distribution of academic performance of grade 9 respondents in terms of academic stress. For table number 3, weighted mean of the academic performance of grade 9 respondents with eustress. For table number 4, weighted mean of the academic performance of grade 9 respondents with distress. For table number 5, frequency and percentage distribution of academic performance of grade 10 respondents in terms of academic stress. For table number 6, weighted mean of the academic performance of grade 10 respondents with eustress. For table number 7, weighted mean of the academic performance of grade 10 respondents with distress. And for table number 10, average weighted mean of academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 in terms of academic stress. So for the first research-specific question that we need to answer is, what is the profile of the respondent students in terms of academic stress and academic performance? For academic stress, our findings would be, based on the given data in Table 1, a total of 162 respondents participated in the study. 49.38% or 80 respondents of the students are from grade 9, while 50.62% or 82 respondents of the students are from grade 10. 59% or 47 students from grade 9 experienced eustress, while 41% or 33 students from the same grade experienced distress. On the other hand, 79% or 62 students of grade 10 experienced eustress, while 24% or 20 students from the same grade experienced distress. Out of 162 respondents, 67% or 109 students answered eustress, while 33% answered distress. For our conclusion, there are more grade 10 students who participate in the study than grade 9 students. The majority of the students are experiencing eustress than distress. For our academic performance, our research finding would be, according to table number 2, there are 47 grade 9 students who answered eustress. 13% or 6 students answered outstanding, 36% or 17 students answered very satisfactory, 34% or 16 students answered satisfactory, 17% or 8 students answered fairly satisfactory, and no one answered did not meet expectations. While from the same grade, a total of 33 students answered distress, 9% or 3 students answered outstanding, 36% or 12 students answered very satisfactory, 45% or 15 students answered satisfactory, 9% or 3 students answered fairly satisfactory, and no one answered did not meet expectations. For grade 10 academic performance, our research findings would be, based on the given data in Table 5, there are 62 students from grade 10 who answered eustress, 14% or 9 students answered outstanding, 47% or 29 students answered very satisfactory, 34% or 21 students answered satisfactory, 5% or 3 students answered fairly satisfactory, and no one answered did not meet expectations, while 20 students from the same grade answered distress, 5% or 1 student answered outstanding, 55% or 11 students answered very satisfactory, 40% or 8 students answered satisfactory, and no one answered fairly satisfactory and did not meet expectation for distress. So if we're going to combine the frequency from Table 2 and Table 5, we will come up with this table. For our conclusion, majority of the students from both grade level answered very satisfactory under the category of eustress. For our research second specific question, the question is, which academic stress is experienced the most and the least? So for our research findings, as shown in Table 8, the average weighted mean of grade 9 and 10 students for eustress is 85.3, while the average weighted mean of grade 9 and 10 students for distress is 84.975. For our conclusion, the academic stress that both grade level experience the most is eustress, while distress is the least. For question number 3, how are grade 9 and grade 10 students compared in terms of academic stress? For eustress, our research finding would be, according to Table 8, the average weighted mean for grade 9 students under eustress is 84.62, while the average weighted mean for grade 10 students is 85.98. On the other hand, the average weighted mean of grade 9 students who answered distress is 84.55, while the average weighted mean of grade 10 students is 85.40. Our conclusion would be grade 10 students have higher average weighted mean in terms of academic stress compared to grade 9 students. For question number 4, is there a significant difference in academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under eustress? So this time, we're going to use t-test method to answer the question. So first, we need to get the value of the standard deviation, the population mean, the sample mean, n, and the t-value. The sample mean is already provided, but to get the standard deviation for grade 9 eustress, we need to use the table number 3. So after accomplishing the table, we can get the standard deviation by using the formula. So the standard deviation for grade 9 student eustress is 5.35. To come up with a conclusion, we need to do these following steps. First is to state the null and alternative hypothesis. For our null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under eustress. For our alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under eustress. Our alpha level will be 0.05 and our degree of freedom is 46. Fourth is to state the decision rule. So we're going to use t-test table to get the value of critical value, which is the positive negative 2.01. Then calculate the test statistic using the t formula. So after getting all the value needed, we can state the rule. If t is less than negative 2.01 or greater than 2.01, reject the null hypothesis. The calculated t-value is negative 0.67, which falls under the accepted region. For grade 10 eustress, we're going to do the same procedure. This time, we're going to use table 6 to get the standard deviation. Same process, and then it will give the value of our standard deviation, which is 4.68. For our null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under eustress, and for alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under eustress. Our alpha level would be 0.05 and our degree of freedom would be 61. Use the t-test table to get the critical value, which is negative 2.00, and the formula for t to get the test statistics. The rule is if t is less than negative 2.00 or greater than 2.00, reject the null hypothesis. The calculated t-value is 1.41, which falls under the accepted region. So the conclusion would be accept the null hypothesis, which states that there is no significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under eustress. This time we're solving for distress. For grade 9 distress, the table used to get the standard deviation, the population mean, the sample mean, n, and t are tables 3, 6, 7, and 8. Same process, use the data in table 4 to compute for standard deviation. State the null hypothesis. For our null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under distress. For our alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under distress. Our alpha level would be 0.05 and our degree of freedom would be 32. Use the t-test table to state the decision rule and calculate the test statistic using the formula. The rule will be if t is less than negative 2.04 or greater than 2.04, reject the null hypothesis. The calculated t-value is 1.41, which falls under the accepted region. For grade 10 distress, we're going to use the table number 7 to get the standard deviation. So here's the same solution to get the standard deviation. And here are the steps to calculate for the value. State the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. For a null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under distress. For our alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under distress. Our alpha level would be 0.05 and our degree of freedom would be 19. Use the t-test table to get the critical value, which is positive negative 2.09, and calculate the test statistic using the t formula. So our rule would be if t is less than negative 2.09 or greater than 2.09, reject the null hypothesis. The calculated t-value is negative 0.34, which falls under the accepted region. Therefore, accept the null hypothesis, which states that there is no significant difference in the academic performance of grade 9 and grade 10 students under distress. For question number 5, is there a significant difference in the academic performance in terms of academic stress? We're still going to use t-test for number 5, but this time I use Excel to get the needed values. So I used table number 8 to get the t-value and critical value to answer number 5. Our null hypothesis is there is no significant difference in the academic performance in terms of academic stress, and our alternative hypothesis is there is a significant difference in the academic performance in terms of academic stress. So based on the data we got from EXO, if t is less than negative 12.71 or greater than 12.71, reject the null hypothesis. The calculated t-value is 1.27, which fall under the accepted region. Therefore, our conclusion would be accept the null hypothesis. There is no significant difference in academic performance in terms of academic stress. Thank you for listening, and once again, I'm Christopher Dave Manalili.